this is weird. This is wacky, and I don't buy it. I don't buy it. So apparently, according to this new study out of, I think it's Glasgow, you can tell whether somebody is rich or poor based on their face. Oh. And this is not like one of the DEI things. This is just apparently like the size or shape of your nose and your mouth. And let me give you some details, because I just actually thought this was really weird. And I don't get this. Like, you know what we should have done? We should have like covered the rich and poor, and then we could have done a little quiz and been like, who's rich, who's poor, based on these pictures. I mean, could you tell if you didn't actually look at it? Apparently, according to this article, both Zuckerberg and Bezos, who just celebrated his 60th birthday with quite a bash, they apparently have these characteristics. Who knew? So some of the characteristics include the shape of the nose. Apparently you need a thinner nose, and you want a more upturn in the lip and the jawline. All of these things allegedly are coming into play. Again, I don't really buy it. I don't buy any of this, but they say people who are perceived to be of high or low social class standing are also often judged as having advantageous or unfavorable traits, respectively. Such judgments are formed even just from facial appearance, and this can have substantial downstream consequences, including disadvantaging those who are perceived to be a lower social class standing. So what's the deal? If you have a certain shape lip or nose, or your eyes are closer or further apart, now are you going to be able to say, hey, I'm part of that class that's disadvantaged, and now you got to look out for me, because apparently just because my eyes are not as close together, that's one of the things. Apparently, if you have close together eyes, somehow you're perceived as rich or going to be rich. I mean, this is so silly, and this is so wacky. And the fact that anybody spent money on this study, I don't know. Quote, our research demonstrates how specific facial attributes play a pivotal role in connecting social class perceptions and related stereotypes. These findings are not only valuable for advancing our understanding of central social perception theories, but could also help with future interventions designed to interrupt biased perceptions. Well, I mean, like, does that worry you at all? Like, at all? I mean, again, this is all, I said it wasn't DEI, but it kind of is, right? Like, this is what they're doing this study because they want to make sure that they can intervene, because there's these little things like whether or not your eyes are close or far apart that apparently people judge you on. Whether the nose is thin or a little bit wide. I mean, those two people look pretty much the same to me, right? It just looks like one is in a certain kind of lighting and the other is in another kind of lighting. And yet, apparently, according to these studies' authors, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. I'm just trying to, they also did a similar study out of Toronto, but I'm wondering if I have that right, if this one was from Glasgow. I would hate to be wrong on that. It was from an overseas study. Okay. No, I was right. Why do I ever doubt myself? I was right. University of Glasgow. A new study from University of Glasgow. It surveyed people about what makes someone look rich. Wow. Okay, so let me give you the characteristics. This you need to hear. People with wider, shorter, and flatter faces, as well as downturned mouths, remember, keep it smiling, and cooler complexions were viewed as lower class, less trustworthy, and incompetent. People also associated these features, apparently the good ones, I'll get to those are the bad ones, we'll get to the good ones, that they associate with trustworthiness. So that would be people with more narrow faces, smiley, upturned mouths, raised eyebrows, closely spaced eyes, and a light, warmer complexion looked wealthier. Okay, enough. Can we just see people not by how they look or the color of their skin or their gender or this, that, and the other? Can we just actually just appreciate people for being people?